So now everything's going well and you want to get more properties. So there's 3 ways to get more properties. You can buy them, you can lease them, or you can co-host with someone else. You can manage, which Airbnb now offers as a feature, which can be run as a split percentage. So Airbnb actually splits percentage for you. So if you're contacting landlords, so if you're not a millionaire and you just want to get started and it's running well, you don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars to buy a property, but you do want to grow, leasing or co-hosting is going to be your best bet. So you're going to have to go off and contact agents and landlords. Now, when you contact them, I think text is more polite now than calling. It used to be calling, say 5-10 years ago in sales. I think text is more polite now. It's really weird getting a random call from someone, like immediately selling to you. I think it's actually a bit strange, and everyone always gives their phone, their mobile number, or almost always on real estate sites, or you can look through Gumtree or realestate.com.au, or I think in other countries it's Craigslist. But you can look through those sites and you can text. I think text is more powerful than calling. It used to be kept calling, but I think that's really impolite now. So text them and say, is this property still available? When they respond yes or no, if they say yes, this is an anchoring technique. So when you start a conversation, you want to anchor the word yes as much as you can. So you can get them to say yes a few times. So it's okay to just say, is this listing still available? They say yes. Then what you're going to want to say is it okay to use it on Airbnb? Or a variation of that question. You need to ask them immediately whether Airbnb is okay, because if you bring this up half an hour later, trust me, it's much more awkward. And this is when people get called creepy. If there's ambiguity in something, that's when something's creepy. Or if someone brings up something well later, if you're talking to someone and you bring up something later, you just wanted to get something from me, that's why you're building a rapport. Be completely upfront. We want to use Airbnb. They're going to say no almost all the time. So what you want to follow that up with is why not, and find out why. A lot of the time it's just totally just that they just don't, like, they haven't even thought about it. But at this point, when you say why not, if they respond, then they're giving you the opportunity to pitch to them. That's the important part. And again, this is just through text. So you text them and you say, is this still available? Yes. Is it okay to put an Airbnb? They're going to say yes or no. When they say no, you say why not. If they respond to why not, that's them giving you permission to pitch. They're giving you permission at that point to pitch. They're saying, well, this or that. Then what you can do to build likability and trust, you can send them your profile. You can send them your Airbnb profile, and you can send them at least 1 or 2 listings so they can get to know you, and they can get to know what Airbnb is, and they can see what you're doing. Then if you have any other benefits, that's when you can highlight it to them. But do not highlight it straight away. Just ask for permission, deal with the fact that they may or may not have an issue with Airbnb and find out what that is first. Then you can start actually pitching to them, and the pitch is going to be who you are. You're pitching who you are first, likability first. They should trust you, or at least have a window into who you are first, which we can do with your profile. Then you can start listing anything you have specifically as a benefit. So think about what skills you have in hospitality, what skills you have in, if you have some kind of trade. So for us, my business partner is a builder, so he has 30 years experience in building, so we can take care of all maintenance. So it's going to save them money on those costs. We will renovate their property if needed. You know, we could spend upwards of 25 grand renovating their property for free. So they're going to get a total upgrade on their property. You can mention that here. Do not mention this earlier, but you can mention it here. You can mention whether you have any experience in the trade, so whether you've studied real estate like I have, whether you have experience in hospitality. So I've got 10 years experience working in hotels and renovating houses. That's what I've been doing for the last 10 years. So if you have that relevant experience, and also managing, I've been managing private rentals for the last, I think about 5 years, and Airbnb for about a year. So if you have that experience on top, this is the time to mention it. Mention any relevant experience you have, how you're going to take care of their property, how they have nothing to worry about. Mention insurances, whether you have contents insurance, which you should have, whether you have public liability, again, which you should have, the Airbnb insurance, which covers you up to $1 million in public liability. This will reduce the amount of the landlord or agent actually relying on insurance themselves, and it could be a worry. Sometimes it is a big worry that insurance is going to be a big problem. And on top of that, you can get share insurance now through NRMA, and there's a couple of other ones, but yeah, you can actually get share house insurance, so you can get that as well. If you've got any of those insurance, mention them, and you should have them. You should get all of them. I started doing that a while ago, just getting multiple insurances in the same field to just cover it regardless. But yeah, mention that if you've got it. Mention that Airbnb has got $1 million liability insurance. Make sure that you do get contents insurance and liability insurance on top of that, and deal with. And then you need to ask. But you should have. When you ask why not, you're going to be dealing with what the issue is with it. Then you can start sending them these things. But you do want to. You want to let them know who you are. You want to let them know what you're doing. Last resort is paying higher than market rent. That's not really sales. It's not sales if you're discounting. It's just if you have to discount someone on a booking, or you have to discount a sale, it's not a sale. It's just giving something away for free. You don't need to learn sales if you're just going to discount everything. So try not to pay above market rent. One thing you can do instead of that is paying rent well in advance. Or if they are willing to take a risk, you can go 50-50 with them. And at that stage, you could show them your profit levels. You can show them what similar houses are making in the area, what you're making with similar houses in the area. And then you can possibly do a 50-50 split. But be wary if you show them that. Actually, you don't have to be wary yet. You can show them it if you want. Just sometimes totally unnecessary. Some people just want to lease their house out. Some people might be interested in it. So that's just another option. Definitely, I don't always say you have to be wary. It's just a totally different conversation though. So if you're going to be managing for someone, that's one conversation, or going 50-50. Or if you're going to be leasing from them, it's just totally different mindset that they're going to be coming from. They just don't want to be bothered if they're leasing. So if you can prove to them, look, we'll be paying rent on time or well in advance, you'll never hear from us. That's your goal. And if you're going to be doing co-hosting with them, they want to see a massive return. They want to see their house improve, and they want to know that you yourself are experienced enough to do it. So it's just, if you're going to go down one or the other, it's just a different sales process. So that's how you grow. The way to grow is to lease more from owners, to co-host with them, and that's pretty fun because you can come up with different arrangements, and that's more of a conversation. So if you're saying that, you don't want to be texting anymore, you don't want to be talking with them, looking at their house and figuring out what kind of interest they have, what kind of involvement they want to have, then you can come up with some kind of interesting percentage split or 50-50 or what you're going to do from there. But you do that when you meet them. Do that at the actual inspection of the property.